Hey guys. So, we're going to talk a little bit today about what people say about you and how you perceive it and how that's handled. Okay. If you think about it, if you ever had a situation where somebody was like, sorry, I got to move my camera just a little bit. There we go. So, in a situation where you hear somebody say they're crazy, they're crazy, they're crazy, they're crazy, they're crazy. Everything they do is crazy, 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 right? Well, what happens is when these people are saying things like that, the person that they're talking about is hearing that information. And there's one or two things that they're going to do. They're going to, A, not give a damn and just go on with life. Or B, they're going to act out in a manner to where that becomes who they are. They're going to feed into your words. They're going to be like, well, if this is what people think, this is what we're going to do. Okay. Another example of that is I'm the world's worst of saying, are you mad? Are you mad? Are you mad? Are you mad? Why do I do that? I don't know. I don't know. But thankfully, to this date, William's not been like, I wasn't, but now I am, and he's not turned into a mad person. He's pretty good about saying, I wish you wouldn't do that because, it really, if I'm not mad, it makes me wonder why you think I'm mad. And so we talk about it, and we do really well with it. So I guess the reason I want to talk about this is because it's important. We have to watch what we say about people in general. Whether your friends, your peers, like people that you don't know that you have associated with, whether it's your spouse or your relatives, just anybody, you have to be careful what you say. There's one thing that I do in session is that on the first page that I fill out, it says diagnosis. I never fill that out in front of my client. Never fill that out in front of my client. They can give me a diagnosis from a previous therapist or a previous psychiatric evaluation or whatever. I still am not going to fill that out. Why am I not going to fill that out? Because I don't need to start labeling this person that I'm talking to and have them feel any sort of a way. Okay. And why that's important is because, again, if I say depressed, I've seen other people go to their therapist and be like, why do you think I'm depressed? What did I do? What did I say? What's going on? What do I need to do? They question it, right? Well, guys, once you put a label and once you start talking about people, the problem is that you're going to have only two options for that. The person's either going to let it go or they're going to be completely what you say. Okay? So we really need to watch what we're saying. We need to watch what we're doing and putting them out there and how they're, what they might do, to how they're going to perceive it. I know it takes a lot of work to really think about how somebody else is going to feel, but we got to do that, people. We have to be humans. We have to think about that whole theory of treat others as you want to be treated. Think about if you were that person. Let's just take crazy for an example. That's one that, you know, I hear quite a bit. And kids especially. And peers will be like, man, they're so crazy. They're so crazy. They're so weird. They're so weird. They're crazy. They're crazy. They're crazy. They're weird. They're weird. They're weird. They're crazy. And as much as I'm like, guys, stop. Let's not do that. They do it, right? So then I have to take my little buddy that's talked about and I have to be like, it's okay. It's okay. And I would say probably 40% of the time they can redirect at that age and they'll be okay. But 60% of the time they're not. And they're like, they think I'm crazy and I have pencils and I'm going to stab you and I'm going to do that. Really, it happens. I mean, it really happens. So then this little one that's been called crazy and weird is sitting in the corner with pencils just cutting and slashing and doing all the things to make what their friends said true. They already think it, so what's it matter, right? So that carries on into adulthood. Okay. Um, I know I have dated somebody that had a disorder, and I would be like, "Man, you just acted crazy," and he's like, "What do you mean? I acted crazy?" And I'm like, "It was just a crazy night." He's like, What do you mean? And then like that would fuel his fire. That would make him become everything that I didn't want him to become that day, right? Like I triggered that response. And I chuckled, but it's true. I think about it now and I'm like, I just told him he was crazy. And how did I think he was going to respond? Not very smart, Diane. Not very smart. Because the crazy got a little bit crazier, like it just cycled and cycled and cycled. And at that point, the next comment was, you thought I was. You thought I was. But now I'm giving you reason to talk like that. And it's hard, you guys. I mean, I'm just giving you basic examples of what I see. So maybe instead of throwing words out like that, why not say, hey, are you okay? Why not say, is there something that I can help you with? Don't associate words to the person that you're talking about that are going to leave them feeling that they have to act a way to get the attention or to act a way to make people leave them alone. Don't do that. It's not kind. It's not right. And I don't know if you guys have noticed it yet, but I totally am that person that's like, treat others as you want to be treated. And I really work on that with me because again, I'm the one that says, are you mad? 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 Why do I do that? Because I lived so long questioning because nobody would tell me that it was just something that it's a trauma response, to be honest. Like, it's something that we do when we lived in a lot of trauma. So trying to break out of that cycle, it's not been easy. But thankfully, I have somebody today who is able to walk through that with me and be like, why do you do that? Why? What did I do? I'm like, well, because you weren't smiling. Do you need me to smile 24/7? Yes, please smile 24/7. So he's like, like I'm lucky, right? Um, but it is a difficult situation, you know, and it's one that we all need to be mindful of. And again, whether it's somebody you know personally, whether it's somebody that you just as acquaintance, whoever it may be, really put yourself in their shoes. Okay, how are they going to take that? How are they going to perceive it? What is going to be thought of that? Just be very mindful of that. It doesn't take much to be kind in the world, so let's do that. Let's work on that a little bit more. Okay. Um, if I can say, I have people that come to me that say, hey, I think I'm depressed. But if I define that depression on paper for them to see and say MDD, major depressive disorder, they're like, you think I'm depressed? You thought you were depressed. But it's different when I define that. When I say you're depressed, it's completely different. So if I'm telling you as a therapist point of view, I mean, break it down a little bit. It affects everybody, even if somebody knows that they're coming in to see me for a reason. As soon as I say that or put it on paper in black and white for them to see, they're like, it makes them feel away, you know? So I really just try to be really mindful of that. And I don't think many people think of that aspect, to be honest. I don't know that you're listening to this going, oh, shoot, that's true. I don't know if that's your thought process, but that's why I want to talk about it. I want to make it aware. I want to make you aware. I want to make you have a chance to shine here and do it differently, you know? And we all have that ability to make a little difference, like I've said before. So if that's what you're doing, if you're part of that crowd that's saying, man, you're crazy, you're crazy, you're crazy, stop. Stop. Don't put those words on anybody. Don't speak that shit into existence. Use your words to form something stronger, to form something better, to form something that is productive. Hey, how are you doing? Is there anything that I can help you with? Do you want to go have some coffee? You want to talk on the phone? Or maybe they just need silence and people just need to shut the F up and you can be the person that starts that. Let's see when that stops happening, how that person responds. Hell, you might even like them. They might be friendly. They might not be crazy at all. You don't know. You don't know because you're not doing that right now. And if you're watching that happening, this is what I'll say. If you're watching that happening, I would say voice your opinion. But you know what? If you're doing that against 100 or a million or, 1,300 people, it's going to be hard. So why don't you just not join in and do what you need to do on your end to say, hey, man, I'm here. You don't have to tell the world to stop, but make yourself be available to that one person. It's not grown up stuff. It's pretty common sense. Don't join in. If you think you can create a change and change the army, then create a change and change the army, But if you don't want that on you, just reach out to whoever it is and just be like, how are you doing? You good? You good? I can talk a lot about the way we present ourselves in our words. I can talk a lot about it's what we say. It's how, not what we say, it's how we say it. That's very important. Let's let that sink in. It's not what you say, it's how you say it, right? I mean, you can say, I love you, but that's not really convincing to me. I really didn't feel that in that, right? But if you're like, I love you, that's just a softer meaning. It feels more intentional. It doesn't seem pressured, So think about it. It's how you say it, not what you say. And you can do a lot and go far helping others just by using those methods. Okay. Not a very long video because I could keep repeating myself, but there's no point because you guys are amazing and you get it and you understand point blank. Do better. Do better, people. If you're part of the crowd that's been saying things about others, stop. Stop. Don't be that person. Don't. Because if that was flipped on you, how would you feel? And you can tell me, oh, I'd be fine. I'd be fine. I would be fine. I doubt most of us would be fine. If somebody told me I was crazy, I'm telling you, I would be curled up in that corner over there by the safe, crying. And then I would just avoid everybody and shut down and be hurt. And then the people would be like, where'd you go? Oh, I'm just feeding my own emotions because you think I'm crazy. It's really how it goes. So watch what you say, be kind, do better. And remember, it's not what you say, it's how you say it. Okay. So for that, I just want to say, have a great week. I hope you had a great weekend, and I will be back with another video tomorrow. Bye, guys.